Welcome back to River City Live. We hope you've been enjoying our special presentation today where we are sharing some behind-the-scenes videos and some educational aspects to our Zoo-a-thon production. We teamed up with Gemstone Media, and they helped us put together these incredible behind-the-scenes looks at how the Jacksonville Zoo and Gardens is able to keep such a healthy environment for the animals and how they need your help, all of our help. So more on that in just a few, but why don't we hop on into that River City Current?
And our first topic today, well, it has to do with holiday shopping. And I know it seems so far away. We haven't even had Halloween yet, but it slowly kind of crept up on us. And part of the reason, according to this study, why people are buying so much right now for the holidays is they are simply bored. There's not a lot to do, obviously, with the pandemic, so people go online and it's right there at your fingertips.
There's a little bit less guilt when you do retail therapy if it is for somebody else. So I get it completely, because just the other day I was thinking, you know what, I am looking for something to do. Maybe I'll get some holiday shopping in.
Yeah.
You know what, I'm not an early bird person. How early do you and Jamie start with any of it?
We've gotten a lot better over the years as our family started to get big. And a lot of times, because kids start their Christmas lists so early, so we're kind of on the ball in order to find those deals. But I'd say the last 2 or 3 years, I would say by Black Friday, as soon as like that part of the season's over, we're pretty much done, you know, for the most part. So I'd say we're pretty good on it, because you actually do save a lot of money if you're proactive with it. But it's interesting because what's happening right now, it's almost a little bit of a trap. I feel like because of COVID, a lot of retailers are doing discounts a lot earlier, trying to get those profits, you know, for the fourth quarter. So you're seeing some really good sales super early, months before they typically happen. So it's really easy to do. And
Amazon Prime Day is coming up as well, and Target has said that they are going to compete with whatever Amazon is doing. So we are going to have a big shopping day coming up very, very soon. However, for the story that we're reading now, it's not just about shopping online. It's just getting out there and getting that holiday shopping done out of complete and sheer boredom.
Yeah, that will do it. If you're bored, go on your computer and just start shopping away. So something else that, well, it just speaks Christmas is Elf cereal is out. Yeah, it's a real thing. And I love the ingredients that are in this. We all know Buddy the Elf, he loved maple syrup. So there's a maple syrup flavor over those rice puffs, and you gotta add marshmallows into that as well.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got to cover as many of those food groups as you can. The candy canes, the candy corn. I mean, I guess they can't really still call it breakfast cereal and do all of those things, but at least there's enough sugar in there just to give you that Buddy the Elf flavor like he would approve.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's interesting because when you talk about Elf, it's a movie that's not that old necessarily when you talk about Christmas classics, but it is in the category of being a Christmas classic already. And we have a list here of some of the top holiday movies. I know, maybe we're getting a little early with our holiday
talk. I know, we're getting all excited.
But I think there's no such thing. You can never start too early. Now, this list was by Esquire, and I think they had like the top 50. So we have some of them here. Do you have a go-to that's it's something you have to see every season when it comes to holiday movies?
I do, and it's Love Actually, which I know is low on the list, but it is on the list because it takes place, there's Christmas in the movie. It's not a Christmas movie per se, but they always show it on TV around Christmas time, but there's an entire section, an entire relationship that they remove from the TV version. So the first time I sat down with my daughter to watch it, she was little. I'm like, you got to see this. I'd only ever seen it on TV. We rented it. I was like, oh. So outside of that one couple, you know, the ones that are shooting the adult film.
Right. So when you see it on, I guess, normal TV, not cable, that's usually the edited version.
That's the G version,
so it's a little bit safer to watch. But that is a great movie.
It's a great movie.
It is a classic. There's a lot of classics on here. Number one was It's a Wonderful Life. That's one of those, it's on all the time. And I think like on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, they just run it on a continuous loop. But I've only seen that like once.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I mean,
I haven't. I mean, it's, to me, Elf is as classic as I get.
A Christmas Story, that's a classic.
People love that.
But there's always ones that make the list that are kind of a little bit out there, like Die Hard. For whatever reason, it finds its way in the top 50 because it's during that season.
Right.
So.
Well, I think now directors and actors and people involved are speaking out and saying, yes, it is a Christmas movie. I mean, anything to drive more viewers.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's certainly no, Home Alone, but Scrooge gets a lot of attention, and it's
That
one
is
that
actually
did
one
not.
of my favorite.
Is it?
With Bill Murray?
I think I need to rewatch that. I don't think
Yeah.
I appreciated it when it was a.
I like it, and also because it deals with like the TV industry as well.
Yes,
You know,
maybe
so
now.
and I'm a big Bill Murray fan, so that one is one of my
I
favorites.
think I'll have to rewatch that because I was obviously not in TV when it came out. So, I mean, I'm not all that old.
No, it's different. Now from movies, let's move over to songs, and I'm talking about wedding songs. So there's a study that came out, and it's interesting because I guess it's more important than I thought to have a particular wedding song. When you picked your song, you know, for marriage, did you have an actual song, or did you have to find one in order to have a song?
It wasn't really our song, but we
Yeah.
loved it. We both loved "It Had to Be You," the Harry Connick Jr. version of that for our song. But wouldn't say like we had some big history with that song.
Right.
I think we may have danced to it at somebody else's wedding.
Right, yeah, because that's what I'm always curious, because some people actually like have a song.
What was yours?
We just picked one because we didn't have a song, and we did "From This Moment" with
Okay.
Shania Twain, because it was popular at the time, and it sounded like a wedding song. And then the band we hired did a good job of it, so there wasn't
They
really,
knew that one.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't really like, you know what I mean, like a song that we had like a connection to.
Well, listen to how they did this study. So they found all of these people that were married, and then they asked them, well, what was your wedding song? And then of those people that chose a given song, they'd say like, oh, bad news, 75% of the people who got married with your wedding song are now divorced.
So let's start that way with the bad ones, right? So Little Things by One Direction, 75% likelihood of a divorce.
Not good.
I'm Yours by Jason Mraz, 61%. And then Chasing Cars by Snow Patrol, 56%.
I think that one was in Grey's Anatomy.
Was it?
Which is why it was so popular at the time. Like people were all about that song at the time, I remember.
Now there are some good ones though. So Can You Feel the Love Tonight by Elton John, 77%. They remain together.
Nice.
Isn't She Lovely by Stevie Wonder, 75% remain together. And The Way You Look Tonight, Frank Sinatra, 74%.
And a little bonus if you did any Disney song, because Disney songs are also supposed to be a good look kind of thing as well.
I could see that. So there you go.
That's what they say in Disney anyway.
Is it too late to change your songs then?
I don't know, man. Can you imagine? That would be the worst if you're like getting married and then this came out the day before and it's like, oh no.
Right.
Well, speaking of Disney it just made me think about animals and how they have that wonderful animal forest and African forest at the zoo. And so why don't we take a look at that as we're doing our behind the scenes tribute to the Jacksonville Zoo. And